morning and welcome. I'm delighted to welcome you to the very first episode of Zip Over to Zack's. My name's Zack Polanski. I'm the third Green Party London Assembly candidate on our London list. I'm supporting the work of our amazing Green Assembly members, Sian and Caroline Russell. Now, the point of these shows is in just a quick 20 minutes to take some big world global issues and to make them relatable. We're going to have some amazing guests, and over the next few weeks, we're going to be looking at topics ranging from the climate emergency to social justice, although of course they're interchangeable, and everything in between, such as policing, health, environment. Now, this isn't just going to be me talking at you or the guests. We really want that interaction. So if at any point during this conversation you have any comments to make or any suggestions for future topics, please pop them in the chat, and towards the end of the show, I'll feed some of those back to you. If you're watching this later on Facebook or YouTube, obviously I'm not that good. I can't interact then, but still interact because I'll make sure that it feeds into next week's show. Now, this week, we're going to be talking about a subject that's incredibly dear to my heart, which is about diversity and representation. Just before we do, though, I just want to lead in with a bit of a celebration with you. And for a long time, we talk about the difference a Green makes in the room. And when we say that, we're talking about everything from a Green MP, a Green Assembly member, Green councillors, and indeed our Green members, activists, supporters, or just people who are watching this programme who aren't Green yet. See what I did there? Well, this week, that was demonstrated in spades by Caroline Russell, who I've mentioned is our Green Party Assembly member. It's a year ago to the day that she said to the London Mayor that it was unacceptable that TfL, Transport for London, use only 0.01% renewable energy. Now, the Mayor of London, to his credit, did say to her, "You're right, Caroline Russell, that isn't good enough and we must do better." And he is finally committed to doing better this week. He's now said they're going to be moving up to 10% of renewable energy. So that's moving away from the national grid, dirty fossil fuels, to a much greener energy. But Caroline isn't going to stop campaigning. She's also said that she wants to move to 100% for London Fire Brigade and London Metropolitan Services. So Caroline, we're right behind you. Thank you for all the work that you're doing for people and for planet. And talking about being better for people and for planet, I would like to introduce our two guests, who are two incredible people. First of all, we've got Rikki Beadle-Blair. He is a writer, activist, producer, artistic director of the amazing Team Angelica. Hey, Rikki. That's a theatre company that's for everyone, really, but it specialises particularly in promoting voices from the BME communities, LGBT voices, anyone really who feels their voice is not heard. On top of all of those things, he's someone I considered one of my closest friends, so I'm so excited to have him on the show. And talking about close friends, there's a theme here. We also have Aileen Gonsalves. She has created her own acting method called the Gonsalves method. It's not just for acting though, it's for authenticity and connection. Hello, Aileen. She was the director, or is the director at the Royal Shakespeare Company since 2003, and she runs her own theatre company called Butterfly Theatre Company. Absolutely delighted to have you both on. So let's get straight into it, and we're going to start with Rikki. We're having a conversation about representation, so it seems like a good place to start. Why is representation important?
Because people are important, because humanity is important, because we're all important. My company has a kind of motto is, that everybody has a face worth seeing, everybody has a voice worth hearing, everyone has a story worth telling. And so to make the most of who we are, we have to make the most of our own individual diversity, all the things that make us up, I am the street I live in, I'm the borough I live in, I'm the city I live in, I'm the country I live in, I am in the federation, if it is one I live in, I'm in the hemisphere I live in, I'm in the world I live in. I'm all of those identities and more. And so so I have to make the most of everyone else's identity. And that's what diversity is. Diversity isn't like make sure that somebody black is in the room. It's about making sure that everybody is, you see the black in everybody and the white in everybody, and you see the complexity of each individual and us collectively, so that we can make absolutely the most out of who we are and progress together.
Love it, thank you. And Aileen, why is representation important?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's so interesting you've got us both on, because I think we share similar sort of feelings about this thing in terms of, I talk about people being unique. There's nobody like any of us in this whole world of 7 billion plus people or whatever it is. I mean, that's just a fact. Literally not one person is like us. They don't see like us, they don't hear like us, they don't smell things like we smell things, they don't feel like we feel. You know, we're completely unique in the whole of, you know, the whole of the past, the whole future of humanity. There will never be somebody like you. And it's just a fact that, and it's quite an extraordinary fact that we don't think about enough. We are unique and we have a unique point of view. And that's the thing I'm really interested in, is the unique point of view that everybody has, which is made up of all the stuff that's gone in them, all that they've seen, all the people they've met. You know, it's incalculable, but it's their unique point of view. And they've also got a unique contribution. And I think this is where I'm really feeling very passionate at the moment about this whole debate, because I think we're missing out massively on some people in this community's unique contribution. You know, the reasons that have happened that we're all talking about now, I think what it does is not only is it unjust and it squashes people, it squashes generations of people and all of that, but actually right now with everyone that we've got in this country, we are not seeing everybody because they're hiding. I mean, I talk for myself, I do a lot of things in this world, but I know myself that I hide. You know, I'm pretty bright and out there, but I hide. So if I'm hiding, then there are lots of people that are potentially hiding. And that means their contribution is not being maxed out. We're not working at everyone's full potential. And that includes actually, you know, the white community at the moment. You know, their contribution is now, something strange is happening with that, because we're finding that people are slightly not speaking, not wanting to speak. I mean, we can talk about that later, but I do sense there is a feeling that that's not happening either. So contribution is what I'm interested in, that we've got to make the space safe enough that everybody feels they can contribute massively everything that they are. I mean, I always say at the end when I teach a class, I say, you know, if you don't contribute yourself to this world, the world won't have it. If you don't say something out of your mouth, that thing will never be said in this world, because only you can say it in the way that you can say it. So, you know, that's what's at risk here, is those individual expressions will change this world, but we have got to hear them all.
Yes, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
absolutely. And what I really love about those answers is representation isn't about silencing some voices, it's about making sure that we're encouraging everyone's voices and everyone's contribution.
Absolutely.
So I guess my question to you, Rikki, is what are the obstacles to this happening at the moment? Why do we not have more representation?
Well, we have, the obstacles really are our fear of ourselves, self-editing, and also attacking others, trying to edit others. And there's a difference between challenging each other and absolutely silencing each other and saying, you know, and trying to shame each other and drag each other on the internet and win, and trying to beat the other person and be cleverer than the other person and funnier than the other person and crueler than the other person and more bulletproof than the other person. None of that's really, you know, there's a place for every emotion and every, even, you know, even what would you call them? You know, negative thoughts have a place in our, but they shouldn't be driving us. You know, it's like they can be, they can get on the bus with us, but they shouldn't be driving the bus. Yeah. And that's the problem, that we think that the solution is absolutism, and that we just, all I have to do is, you know, this person is a demon and all I have to do is vanquish them in some way, and then I will be elevated by that. And also I am a demon, and there are parts of me that must be hidden. You know, Aileen really nailed it, you know, that there's a lot of hiding. We see it all the time. We see it at the moment in people who are in strong positions of political power, where they don't allow themselves to be vulnerable and say that they've messed up, that they're lost, that they're confused, that we need to collaborate. They are definitely trying to look just all powerful, and so they'll change the dates of things that we know. You know, they'll lie to us and change right in front of us. They'll change things that we can see, as opposed to going, okay, this is what happened. I was a human and I made a mistake. How can we solve this? How can we work on this together? I'm one of you. You know, all of that. I think that's the big problem. And therefore, what the big problem to diversity is that people feel like, oh, showing vulnerability, sitting down and collaborating is in some way diminishing me. It shows me as weak if I collaborate, if I connect with other people. Whereas in fact, it's the greatest strength you can have, the ability to show your vulnerability and learn from other people and capitalize on your strengths instead of fabricating them.
I really love that. one of the Green Party slogans actually is collaboration, not competition. So it's nice.
Oh, yes, I like that one. I know that one, yeah.
Indeed. And talking of Green Party slogans, we've got Aileen has just recently joined the Green Party. So welcome to the party as well. And the same question to you, Aileen. What are the obstacles?
Well, firstly, I will say the reason I wanted to join the party was, one, listening to you, Zack, talking about it all the time, very inspiringly, but actually was that slogan. Collaboration, not competition. You know, we're in theatre. That's what theatre is. You know, it's supposedly, at its absolute best, it's collaboration. You know, that's all I've ever known is collaboration as an idea. It's so clear that that's the way to go forward. So for a political party to openly say collaboration, not competition, and be behind that slogan is I was inspired by that. You know, I think it's really, really important. And I've been to a few meetings actually online and seen that at work. You know, I saw, is it Caroline and Clive Lewis from the Labour Party, and there was also a Lib Dem who I can't remember their name, sorry Lib Dem, and they were talking to each other. And I realised I've never seen politicians just speak to each other in a room, and they were on Zoom, and I was like, I've never seen this, because normally they argue with each other, but they're on television, they're opposing and they're arguing and they're discussing, but here there were three people, human beings, literally discussing an issue together. It was quite, and I thought, how ridiculous, I've never seen that.
Sounds like they were listening to each other as well, which is
radical. You know, I think this is the time for radical things to happen. Okay, this is the moment. You know, if not now, when? The world has stopped moving. It stopped turning round for a second. This is a huge opportunity, and I suppose I want to step up. I suppose when I talk about contribution, I've realised I haven't contributed in the political sphere at all. Well, in the big, with a big P, political. You know, it's important, and I realise, and Rikki, I think we all have to start acknowledging that people keep saying, where are the leaders? Where are the leaders? And I think we're the leaders. I realize I'm a leader that you know, we're the leaders we've been waiting for.
Yes.
We've got to step up into those leadership roles and encourage other people to, and because the more visible we are, the more role model-y we can be. And you know, I haven't done that job. You know, I've done a lot of things and nobody knows who I am. So you're like, okay, wait a minute, why have you been doing that? What have you been up to? And I think to answer your questions, that it's just, it's in our own hearts, each person's own heart. You know, you have that moment where you literally feel or think a racist thing. You see someone of a different colour and you go, oh, there's a little clench, because you hear yourself do or think or say something that we now think is racist. So the reaction then is one of many things. You can be furious with yourself or go, well, I'm not racist, or you can panic, or you can we have to just allow it. You have to go, oh no, I've had that thought, that one thought that's made me look at those people in that way, or go, why are they doing that? Or go say the word they. You know, suddenly I think, God, that's racist. As I say it, I think, why am I saying they're doing that? Or, oh, it's them again doing that. I mean, that is kind of wrong now. And so you go, oh, wait a minute, what have I just done? You get to allow it, forgive it, you know, just go, okay, allow it. It's my whole history of the world has led me to have that thought. But then is the next crucial stage, and we can't miss this stage. It's the investigating of it. It's the pausing and thinking. It is the talking and the reading and the listening, but it's just in your own heart, giving yourself a chance to go, why? Why have I done that? And just have a little debate with yourself about it. And then you get to make a different choice next time the thing happens. And you get to then tell someone else, and you get to go, you know, I had this thought this morning, and you get to say out loud, I'm really confused about this thing. I don't know what word is the right word to use. I think we have to allow that vulnerability, as Rikki said, vulnerable to not knowing how to respond, but don't not respond. Don't not move forward. Don't not say something. You know, I sat in on a meeting. I work at various institutions, and everyone on the screen was white. And they were talking about diversity, and they were kind of shocked to their core about what was going on, and they had to do something, we all had to do. But when they saw that I was on that call, everyone's voices just changed. I mean, I see pretty clearly because my work is involved with seeing truthfully. And I was like, uh-oh. The whole room tried to get through it really quickly, the diversity section on the agenda, and sort of claim how much they've been doing. And I thought we were going to have a discussion, but no one wanted to talk about anything. I don't know, but I think it's because I was there. And I very unbravely said nothing. So the next day I woke up and went, no, that was completely wrong. I was the only person who could have just made it okay, or just sort of said, is everyone okay? I think something just weird just happened here. Just that, you know, I don't know the answers. I'm not going to judge what anyone says. Let's just have an open, confused conversation about it out loud. which I'd love to have joined. So in the end, we had another meeting and we did just that, which was amazing. And I thought that was a lesson to me to go, if I'm the only brown in the room, which is pretty much every room, I need to at least speak, unhide and say something, you know, just to allow, you know, others to speak. No, I was just saying.
I love this idea of open, confused conversations.
Yeah.
And just encourage people to keep, because we really do want your contribution. Yeah. So I guess to wrap up, I just want to come back to Rikki with that, and just ask Rikki a very open question really, with when next, what are your hopes? What do you want to see change?
Now, what do I want to out of this moment in our serpentine history?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, right now, I would like, you know, there's that last line, I think, in David Copper, is it in Great Expectations, where he says, I have been broken, but I think it's something, I've been broken, but hopefully I am into a better shape. It's something very close to that. If I thought about it, I'd have prepared that, but I just thought of it now. And I hope that we will, you know, as we return to normality, I think we hope we return to a kind of more open, more healthy normality. Like, we don't have to go back to things as they were, because everyone was in, there's so much conflict and so much frustration and so much confusion. And I think we've all been put on the naughty step by nature to have a little think about what we've been doing and what we've been saying and how we've been treating ourselves and how we've been treating other people. And hopefully we're going to go back into the room and get our hug from Mother Nature and give each other a hug and play together, play better with others. I think because this is a great opportunity. You know, I want things to get back to, I want to be able to eat in restaurants full of other people and all of those things. I work in theatre. I want there to be rooms full of people clapping and cheering and laughing and crying and feeling and adventurous. But, you know, a lot of it wasn't connecting with people, and we can, and a lot of it wasn't that great, and it can be great. We, you know, I'm not a make Britain great again person. I'm a let's make it great now for the first time person, and really embrace it all. You know, we can embrace all of it, and our mistakes and our histories and our futures and our presents all at the same time, and just listen to ourselves, listen to each other, and challenge each other in a familial way as opposed to an adversarial way. That's really what I want next, to be challenged as I am right now by nature, but challenged with some sense of community and affection.
Incredible. Thank you. And Aileen, this is a tough call with only a couple of minutes left, but you used the phrase the other day, we need to draw a line under empire. Yeah. Do you want to talk about that in terms of what you hope to happen next?
Well, I have an idea. You know, I sort of woke up one day in the last few weeks and I thought about Nelson Mandela in South Africa and the Truth and Reconciliation Commission that happened when he got out of jail and he was freed. And it's huge. If people don't know it, do look it up. And you know, Desmond Tutu came and worked in Northern Ireland, and there are other countries of the world that have done this. East Timor, you know, they had these Truth and Reconciliation moments. I think this is a national moment. You know, this thing has happened, and I wish that we would build on it to go somewhere. I think we need a roadmap going forward so it doesn't just all dissipate and disappear. So I'm going to throw a challenge out to, I breathe theatre. Theatre around the country have a moment. If they all work together to produce like a Truth and Reconciliation Festival, I'm picturing it next year. I'm picturing people telling their stories. The way to get to know each other better is to tell each other stories, multi-generational, old white people telling their stories to young black people and young white black people telling their stories to old white people, you know, just mixing it up, that we hear each other's stories. Maybe actors are verbatim style telling those stories, help telling those stories. Let's hear from those hidden people, because I don't want to hear from those hidden people as statistics that are now dying. You know, the non-white people are dying in very big numbers. We're just hearing about them now as statistics. And we see them at the moment because they're our key workers. They're the majority of the people who are doctors and nurses and taxi drivers and our delivery people and supermarkets. You know, those people, I want to hear their lives, hear more about them, get them to come out. But I think the theatres have such an opportunity to do what I think theatre needs to be doing and hasn't been doing for a long time, which is showing the truth, but also allowing people to share their points of view, helping people walk in each other's shoes. You know, it's time for us to use theatre for what actually theatre is there for. It's devoid of people at the moment. People is what theatre is. People of all sorts of everything being thrown together. You know, we need a space, we need somewhere to be held, to this to be held, and a structure. And I can't think of a better structure than theatre to be the place where people get to actually express themselves and start hearing, just hearing the voices. We can't all go and read books about the history of time. You know, if Old Man Empire is an old man, it's like he's dying, it's time for him to sort of, he wants to sort of say, there has to be a sense of sorry. You know, in Rikki's story about the naughty step, there's always a sorry. You sit there and wait for your 10 minutes or however old you are, and then you say sorry. And there's a sense of learning. What have I learned? You have to sit there and learn something. And then you get held and hugged and told, let's move on. Please, let's move on together. You know, if we draw a line, it's going to have everyone imagine for a second, if we do draw that line, what's beyond the line? What is this country like if we can get beyond something together? We don't know yet. Discovery first is my motto. You know, what an opportunity. And this country, if we're going to do Brexit, which seems like we're doing, we are left, we're alone. And we are made up of the people that are in it. So let's get the most out of every single person that's here. Let's get their contribution. Let's get their different ways of seeing everything. I mean, my acting method is a different way of seeing acting. And I proceed to try and teach that with Shakespeare. It couldn't be more weird, you know, but it's saying I had a different perspective because I was not white in an extremely white environment the whole of my life. And then I'm in these big institutions where everybody's white and I saw things. I can see a different perspective and everybody can see. You don't have to be black, white or anything, but the point is we're not hearing from the people who are not white. So we miss their vision, quite frankly, their different visions. And I think this is the time for this, time for new visions. So
time for
yeah.
new vision sounds like a beautiful place to wrap up. But there's always the danger of a 20-minute show that we actually needed 3 hours. But thank you so both very much for coming on. You can find out more about our work, and I do encourage you to. Rikki is probably best website is teamangelica.com to check out his work, and Aileen Gonsalves method.com, and Gonsalves is on the screen. And it's all one word. Please do check out. And you can
follow me on Twitter, Rikki, RIKKIBB.
He's a professional. Yeah. Much your Twitter.
I'm useless. I've got all those handles. My best handles are butterflytheatre.com, actually. My butterfly crew will tell me off for that. And we're doing outside theatre now, so we're opening up our outside theatre things. So
yes.
Yeah, we're back, so look out.
Amazing. Hope to see that soon too, wearing a mask, of course.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you all so much for watching. If you're watching this online, you can join on seanberry.london to the mailing list to see future episodes. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching and for being in my living room for the first Zip Over to Zack's. And thank you.
Thank you, Zack.
Thank you, Zack.
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you, everyone.
Amazing. Loved it.